Have you ever felt a heaviness in your chest that just won't go away? Do you find yourself stuck in a loop of what-ifs and regrets? Guilt is a silent thief, stealing your happiness, your peace, and even your future. But what if you could break free from its grip? Imagine living a life unburdened, where you wake up each day with a sense of freedom and lightness. This video will reveal powerful truths that could change your life forever. Stay with us until the end and discover how to reclaim your joy and start living the life you truly deserve. Way 1. Guilt sabotages. Your self-worth. Guilt has a sneaky way of creeping into our minds and hearts, often without us even realizing it. It starts small, a mistake here, a wrong decision there, but before we know it, guilt has set up camp in our lives. This feeling of remorse, whether from a significant blunder or a minor misstep, begins to gnaw at our self-worth. Let's delve into how this happens and why it's so destructive. Imagine waking up each day with a lingering sense of guilt over something that happened years ago. Maybe you hurt someone you care about, or perhaps you made a choice that led to unforeseen negative consequences. No matter the reason, guilt has a powerful hold on you. This persistent feeling whispers lies into your ear. You're not good enough. You'll never be able to make up for this. You don't deserve happiness. These lies start to shape your self-perception. When guilt takes root, it colors the way you see yourself. Instead of recognizing your worth and potential, you begin to identify more with your mistakes than with your accomplishments. It's as if every good thing about you is overshadowed by this dark cloud of guilt. You start to believe that you're defined by your errors, and this belief chips away at your self-esteem. This internalized guilt becomes a part of your identity, making it hard to see yourself as anything other than flawed. This erosion of self-worth can have far-reaching consequences. When you feel unworthy, you begin to act accordingly. You might avoid pursuing opportunities because you don't believe you're deserving of success. You might withdraw from relationships because you think you're not good enough for others. This self-sabotage creates a vicious cycle. The more you avoid, the more you miss out on, and the more you miss out on, the more guilty you feel. It's a downward spiral that's hard to break free from. Moreover, guilt doesn't just affect your perception of yourself, it also influences how you interact with the world. When you carry the weight of guilt, you might become overly apologetic, constantly seeking reassurance and validation from others. This behavior can push people away, as they might find it exhausting to constantly affirm your worth. It can also lead to you being taken advantage of, as those with less than noble intentions might exploit your need for forgiveness and approval. One of the most insidious ways guilt ruins your self-worth is through the lens of self-punishment. You might engage in behaviors that reinforce your negative self-view, such as self-sabotage, neglecting self-care, or even engaging in destructive habits. This self-punishment becomes a way of atoning for your perceived sins, a misguided attempt to balance the scales. However, rather than alleviating guilt, these actions only serve to deepen your sense of unworthiness and perpetuate the cycle. Breaking free from this cycle requires a conscious effort to challenge and change the narratives that guilt has created in your mind. Start by acknowledging the presence of guilt and understanding its roots. Reflect on the events or decisions that have led to these feelings. Sometimes, just recognizing and naming your guilt can reduce its power over you. It's important to differentiate between healthy guilt, which can prompt positive change, and toxic guilt, which only serves to harm you. Next, practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend in your situation. Understand that everyone makes mistakes, and these errors do not define your entire being. Affirmations and positive self-talk can be powerful tools in rebuilding your self-worth. Remind yourself daily of your strengths, achievements, and inherent value. Forgiveness is another crucial step. This doesn't mean you condone your past actions, but rather that you choose to release the hold they have over you. Forgiving yourself can be a long and challenging process, but it's essential for healing. You might find it helpful to write a letter to yourself, acknowledging your mistakes and expressing forgiveness. This act of self-forgiveness can be incredibly liberating. Seeking support can also make a significant difference. Whether through therapy, support groups, or trusted friends, talking about your guilt can provide new perspectives and insights. Others can offer empathy and understanding, helping you to see your worth more clearly. Sometimes, just hearing that you're not alone in your struggles can be immensely reassuring. Finally, focus on growth and learning. Use your experiences as lessons to guide you toward becoming a better person. Guilt can be a powerful teacher if you allow it to be. Reflect on what you have learned and how you can apply these lessons moving forward. Embrace the idea that growth is a lifelong journey, and each step, no matter how small, is progress. In conclusion, guilt can be a relentless enemy to your self-worth, but it doesn't have to dictate your life. By recognizing its impact, practicing self-compassion, seeking forgiveness, and focusing on growth, you can begin to reclaim your sense of worthiness. Remember, you are not defined by your mistakes. You are defined by how you rise from them, stronger and wiser. Keep watching, because the journey to freeing yourself from guilt has only just begun. Way 2. Guilt traps you in the past. Guilt has a unique power to anchor us to our past, preventing us from fully living in the present and looking forward to the future. When guilt takes hold, it keeps us replaying old events and mistakes over and over, trapping us in a mental time loop that saps our energy and stifles our growth. Let's explore how guilt chains us to the past and why breaking these chains is essential for a fulfilling life. Picture this: a constant reel of past events playing in your mind, each mistake, each regret, endlessly looping. You replay scenarios, thinking about what you could have said or done differently. This mental exercise feels like a desperate attempt to change the past, yet it's an exercise in futility. The past is unchangeable, but guilt convinces us that if we just think about it enough, we can somehow rewrite history. This is the trap guilt sets for us, one that ensnares our thoughts and emotions in a never-ending cycle. Living in this loop of guilt means you're not present in the here and now. Your mind is so preoccupied with what has been that it can't focus on what is. This absence from the present moment robs you of fully experiencing life. You might find it hard to enjoy simple pleasures or meaningful interactions because a part of you is always stuck in the past. This detachment from the present can lead to a sense of disconnection and emptiness, making it difficult to engage with the world around you. Moreover, being trapped in the past prevents you from planning for and looking forward to the future. Guilt makes the future seem like an extension of your past mistakes rather than a blank canvas full of potential. You might feel that because you've made errors before, you're doomed to repeat them, which can lead to a fear of taking risks or trying new things. This fear can stifle your personal and professional growth, leaving you feeling stagnant and unfulfilled. One of the most damaging aspects of guilt is how it distorts your perception of time. It creates a false sense of permanence around your mistakes, making them feel ever-present. You start to believe that these moments define you, overshadowing everything else you've done or will do. This skewed perspective can lead to feelings of hopelessness and resignation, as if you're forever bound by your past actions. Breaking free from the chains of guilt requires a shift in mindset. First, acknowledge that the past is unchangeable. This might sound simple, but truly accepting this fact is a crucial step toward liberation. Remind yourself that no amount of guilt can alter what has already happened. This acceptance is not about condoning your past actions, but about recognizing the futility of dwelling on them. Next, practice mindfulness to anchor yourself in the present. Mindfulness exercises, such as deep breathing, meditation, and grounding techniques, can help you stay focused on the here and now. When you catch your mind wandering to past events, gently bring it back to the present moment. This practice can help reduce the power of guilt over your thoughts and emotions. Another effective strategy is to reframe your past experiences. Instead of viewing your mistakes as failures, see them as opportunities for growth and learning. What lessons did you learn from those experiences? How have they shaped you into the person you are today? By shifting your perspective, you can transform guilt into a source of strength and wisdom. Forgiveness, both of yourself and others, plays a crucial role in freeing yourself from the past. Holding on to grudges or self-blame only serves to keep you tethered to previous events. Forgiveness is not about forgetting or excusing what happened. It's about letting go of the emotional burden. It's about freeing yourself from the hold that guilt has on you. Consider writing a letter to yourself or others, expressing your feelings and offering forgiveness. This act of release can be incredibly healing. Engaging in activities that promote growth and forward movement can also help. Set goals for yourself and take steps toward achieving them. Focus on what you can control now and in the future, rather than what you cannot change about the past. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and use it as motivation to keep moving forward. Surrounding yourself with supportive people who understand and encourage your journey is equally important. They can provide a fresh perspective, offer reassurance, and help you stay grounded in the present. Sometimes, hearing from others that it's okay to let go of the past can be the nudge you need to start doing so. Lastly, professional help can be invaluable. Therapists and counselors are trained to help you navigate complex emotions and break free from the cycle of guilt. They can offer tools and techniques tailored to your specific situation, guiding you toward a healthier, more present-focused mindset. In conclusion, guilt's power to trap you in the past is formidable, but not insurmountable. By accepting the unchangeable nature of the past, practicing mindfulness, reframing your experiences, seeking forgiveness, and focusing on growth, you can break free from guilt's grip. Embrace the present and look forward to a future where you are no longer defined by your past mistakes, but by the strength and wisdom you've gained from them. Stay tuned as the journey to liberate yourself from guilt continues with more powerful insights. Way 3. Guilt erodes your mental health. Guilt has a profound impact on your mental health, often acting as a silent destroyer that chips away at your emotional and psychological well-being. Unlike a physical ailment, the damage guilt causes can be invisible but no less debilitating. It infiltrates your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, gradually wearing down your resilience and peace of mind. Let's explore how guilt can erode your mental health and why it's essential to address it. Firstly, guilt can trigger chronic stress. When you're constantly replaying mistakes or regretting past actions, your mind is in a perpetual state of unease. This stress isn't just a fleeting feeling, it can become a constant background noise that affects everything you do. Chronic stress from guilt can lead to anxiety, manifesting as persistent worry, restlessness, and an inability to relax. You might find yourself overthinking every little decision, fearing that you'll make another mistake, which only heightens your anxiety levels. This persistent anxiety can spiral into more severe mental health issues. For some, guilt may lead to depression. The weight of constant self-blame and regret can create a sense of hopelessness and despair. You might feel trapped by your past, unable to see a way out, and this can lead to feelings of sadness, worthlessness, and a loss of interest in activities you once enjoyed. Depression is a serious condition that affects not just your mood, but also your overall health, relationships, and quality of life. Guilt also has a way of feeding into obsessive-compulsive behaviors. You might find yourself obsessively going over past actions, trying to find ways to make amends or prevent similar mistakes in the future. This can manifest as ritualistic behaviors or compulsive actions designed to alleviate the guilt, but these behaviors only provide temporary relief. In the long run, they can create more stress and reinforce the guilt, leading to a cycle that's hard to break. Moreover, guilt can severely affect your self-esteem and self-image. When you're constantly feeling guilty, you start to internalize negative thoughts about yourself. You may begin to see yourself as inherently flawed or bad, which can lead to self-loathing and a lack of self-compassion. This negative self-perception can make it challenging to accept compliments or believe in your abilities, further eroding your mental health. The impact of guilt on your mental health isn't limited to your internal world. It also affects your external relationships. You might become withdrawn, avoiding social interactions because you feel unworthy or fear judgment. This isolation can exacerbate feelings of loneliness and depression. Alternatively, you might become overly dependent on others for reassurance and validation, which can strain relationships and lead to codependent behaviors. Addressing the mental health impact of guilt requires a multifaceted approach. One crucial step is to become aware of how guilt manifests in your life and its effects on your mental well-being. This awareness can help you recognize patterns and triggers, making it easier to address them. Practicing self-compassion is vital in combating the mental health effects of guilt. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend in a similar situation. Acknowledge that everyone makes mistakes, and that these mistakes do not define your worth as a person. Self-compassion can help you break the cycle of negative self-talk and begin to rebuild your self-esteem. Another effective strategy is cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. CBT is a form of therapy that helps you identify and challenge negative thought patterns, replacing them with healthier, more realistic ones. By working with a therapist, you can learn to reframe your thoughts about guilt and develop coping strategies to manage its impact on your mental health. Mindfulness and relaxation techniques can also be beneficial. Practices such as meditation, deep breathing, and progressive muscle relaxation can help reduce anxiety and stress. These techniques encourage you to focus on the present moment, rather than dwelling on the past, and can provide a sense of calm and clarity. Setting boundaries is another important step. If your guilt stems from taking on too much responsibility or trying to please everyone, learning to set healthy boundaries can help. This might mean saying no to additional commitments or seeking help when needed. Setting boundaries can prevent you from becoming overwhelmed and reduce the guilt associated with not being able to do everything perfectly. It's also essential to seek support from others. Talking about your feelings with friends, family, or a mental health professional can provide relief and perspective. Others can offer empathy and understanding, helping you to see that you're not alone in your struggles with guilt. In some cases, medication may be necessary to manage symptoms of anxiety or depression related to guilt. Consulting with a healthcare provider can help determine if this is the right option for you. Lastly, Focusing on self-improvement and personal growth can help alleviate guilt. Reflect on what you've learned from your past mistakes and use these lessons to make positive changes in your life. Setting goals and working toward them can provide a sense of purpose and direction, helping you move forward instead of being stuck in the past. In conclusion, guilt's impact on mental health is profound and multifaceted, but it doesn't have to be a permanent fixture in your life. By becoming aware of its effects, practicing self-compassion, seeking therapy, and engaging in mindfulness and self-improvement, you can mitigate the damage guilt causes. Remember, your mental health is paramount, and taking steps to address guilt can lead to a healthier, more balanced life. Continue with us on this journey as we uncover more ways to break free from guilt's grip. Way 4. Guilt damages your relationships. Guilt, if left unchecked, can infiltrate and damage your relationships, creating rifts and fostering resentment. This silent destroyer can change how you interact with others, leading to behaviors that push people away or create unhealthy dynamics. Understanding how guilt can impact your relationships is crucial for maintaining healthy and fulfilling connections with those around you. Guilt often leads to overcompensation in relationships. When you feel guilty, you might go to great lengths to make amends or prove your worth to others. This can manifest as over-apologizing, constantly seeking validation, or doing more than your fair share to please others. While your intentions might be good, this behavior can come across as needy or insincere, putting a strain on your relationships. Others may start to feel uncomfortable or burdened by your need for constant reassurance. On the flip side, guilt can also lead to withdrawal and avoidance. If you're overwhelmed by feelings of guilt, you might distance yourself from others to avoid confrontation or further mistakes. This isolation can make loved ones feel neglected or unimportant, leading to misunderstandings and resentment. By pulling away, you deprive yourself and others of the opportunity for open communication and genuine connection. Guilt can create a communication barrier, preventing you from expressing your true feelings and needs. When guilt dominates your interactions, you might avoid difficult conversations out of fear of causing more harm. This lack of communication can lead to unresolved issues and unspoken grievances, which fester over time and weaken the relationship. Honest and open dialogue is essential for healthy relationships, and guilt can be a significant obstacle to achieving that. Moreover, guilt can make you overly critical of yourself and others. You might project your feelings of guilt onto those around you, leading to heightened sensitivity and quick judgments. This projection can create a tense atmosphere where minor issues escalate into major conflicts. Your heightened sensitivity might also make you interpret others' actions or words as more hurtful than they are, further straining the relationship. Another way guilt damages relationships is through the fostering of codependency. When guilt drives your actions, you might become overly reliant on others for emotional support and validation. This dependency can create an unhealthy dynamic where both parties feel trapped in their roles. The person you rely on might feel overwhelmed by the constant need to provide reassurance, while you might feel increasingly helpless without their support. This codependency can erode the foundation of the relationship, making it difficult for both individuals to grow independently. Additionally, guilt can prevent you from setting and maintaining healthy boundaries. If you're constantly feeling guilty, you might struggle to say no or assert your needs, fearing that you'll disappoint or hurt others. This lack of boundaries can lead to burnout and resentment as you take on more than you can handle. It also sends a message that your needs and well-being are less important, which can diminish your self-worth and impact how others treat you. To address the impact of guilt on your relationships, It's important to start with self-awareness. Recognize the behaviors and patterns that guilt is causing in your interactions. Reflect on how these behaviors are affecting your relationships and consider whether they are helping or hindering genuine connection. Practicing self-forgiveness is a critical step. Understand that everyone makes mistakes, and holding on to guilt indefinitely is neither productive nor fair to yourself or others. Allow yourself to let go of past errors and move forward with a commitment to learning and improving. This process can help you approach relationships with a healthier mindset, free from the burden of guilt. Open communication is essential for repairing and strengthening relationships affected by guilt. Be honest with your loved ones about your feelings and the impact guilt is having on you. This transparency can foster understanding and empathy, allowing others to support you in your journey to overcoming guilt. It also creates an opportunity to address any unresolved issues and work towards resolution together. Setting healthy boundaries is another important step. Learn to assert your needs and say no when necessary without feeling guilty. This might be challenging at first, but it's crucial for maintaining your well-being and ensuring that your relationships are balanced and respectful. Boundaries help protect your emotional health and create a foundation for healthier interactions. Seeking external support can also be beneficial. Talking to a therapist or counselor can provide you with tools and strategies to manage guilt and its impact on your relationships. A professional can help you understand the underlying causes of your guilt and guide you through the process of healing and growth. Engaging in activities that build your self-esteem and self-worth can help reduce the power of guilt over your relationships. When you feel confident and valued, you're less likely to seek validation from others or overcompensate for past mistakes. Focus on your strengths, achievements, and the positive aspects of your personality. In conclusion, guilt can be a silent destroyer of relationships, leading to overcompensation, withdrawal, poor communication, heightened sensitivity, codependency, and a lack of boundaries. By becoming aware of these patterns, practicing self-forgiveness, engaging in open communication, setting healthy boundaries, seeking support, and building your self-esteem, you can mitigate the impact of guilt on your relationships. Remember, healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, understanding, and genuine connection, free from the damaging influence of guilt. Stay with us as we continue to explore more ways to break free from guilt's grip and improve your life. Way 5. Guilt stifles your creativity. Guilt, a powerful and often overwhelming emotion, can severely stifle your creativity. When you're burdened by guilt, your mind becomes preoccupied with self-blame and regret, leaving little room for the free-flowing, imaginative thoughts that fuel creativity. Understanding how guilt impacts your creative process is essential for reclaiming your creative potential and fostering a more innovative, fulfilling life. One of the primary ways guilt stifles creativity is by occupying mental space. Creativity thrives in a mind that is open, relaxed, and free from excessive worries. However, guilt creates a constant background noise of self-criticism and doubt. This mental clutter makes it difficult to focus on new ideas or engage in creative problem-solving. Instead of exploring new possibilities, your mind is caught up in a loop of negative thoughts and what-ifs, limiting your creative output. Furthermore, guilt can lead to a fear of failure. When you're constantly feeling guilty about past mistakes, you might become overly cautious and risk-averse. This fear of making new mistakes can paralyze your creative efforts, preventing you from experimenting or taking bold steps. Creativity often involves trial and error, but guilt makes you hesitant to try anything new, fearing that another failure will only add to your burden of guilt. Another way guilt stifles creativity is by diminishing your self-confidence. Creativity requires a certain level of self-assurance and belief in your abilities. Guilt, however, erodes your self-esteem, making you doubt your creative skills and ideas. You might second-guess yourself constantly, questioning whether your ideas are good enough or fearing judgment from others. This lack of confidence can prevent you from sharing your work, seeking feedback, or pursuing creative projects. Guilt can also lead to perfectionism, which is a significant barrier to creativity. When you feel guilty, you might set unrealistically high standards for yourself in an attempt to make up for past mistakes. This perfectionism can cause you to overanalyze and overwork your creative projects, stifling the spontaneous and intuitive aspects of the creative process. Instead of allowing yourself to experiment and play with ideas, you become overly focused on getting everything exactly right, which can stifle innovation and originality. Moreover, guilt can drain your emotional and physical energy, leaving you feeling exhausted and uninspired. The emotional toll of carrying guilt can lead to feelings of sadness, frustration, and even depression. This emotional weight can sap your motivation and enthusiasm for creative endeavors. When you're feeling depleted, it's challenging to find the energy and inspiration needed to engage in creative activities. Another important step is to reframe your perspective on failure. Instead of viewing mistakes as reasons for guilt, see them as opportunities for learning and growth. Embrace the idea that failure is a natural part of the creative process and that each setback can provide valuable insights and lessons. By changing your mindset, you can reduce the fear of failure and become more willing to take creative risks. Creating a supportive environment for your creativity is also essential. Surround yourself with people who encourage and inspire you, and seek out feedback from those who understand and appreciate your creative vision. Having a positive support system can boost your confidence and provide reassurance when guilt threatens to stifle your creativity. Practicing mindfulness and relaxation techniques can help clear your mind of the clutter that guilt creates. Activities such as meditation, deep breathing, and journaling can help you stay present and focused, allowing your creative thoughts to flow more freely. These practices can also reduce stress and anxiety, making it easier to engage in creative pursuits with a clear and open mind. Setting realistic and achievable goals for your creative projects can help manage perfectionism and reduce the pressure you place on yourself. Break down larger projects into smaller, manageable tasks and celebrate each milestone you achieve. This approach can help you stay motivated and focused, preventing guilt from derailing your creative efforts. Additionally, give yourself permission to play and experiment. Creativity flourishes in an environment of curiosity and exploration. Allow yourself to try new things, make mistakes, and enjoy the process without the pressure of producing a perfect outcome. By embracing a playful mindset, you can unlock new levels of creativity and innovation. Seeking professional help can also be beneficial if guilt is severely impacting your creativity and overall well-being. Therapists and counselors can provide tools and techniques to help you manage guilt and its effects, guiding you toward a healthier and more creative mindset. In conclusion, guilt can be a significant barrier to creativity, occupying mental space, fostering fear of failure, diminishing self-confidence, leading to perfectionism, and draining emotional energy. By practicing self-compassion, reframing failure, creating a supportive environment, engaging in mindfulness, setting realistic goals, and embracing a playful mindset, you can overcome the stifling effects of guilt and unlock your creative potential. Continue with us as we explore more ways to free yourself from guilt's grip and enhance your life. Way 6. Guilt hinders your decision-making. Guilt, with its relentless grip on your emotions and thoughts, can severely hinder your ability to make decisions. When guilt dominates your mindset, it clouds your judgment, leading to indecision, second-guessing, and a constant fear of making the wrong choice. Understanding how guilt affects your decision-making process is crucial for regaining clarity and confidence in your choices. One of the primary ways guilt hinders decision-making is by creating a paralyzing fear of making mistakes. When you're weighed down by guilt, the thought of making another error can be overwhelming. This fear can lead to analysis paralysis, where you become so caught up in evaluating every possible outcome and consequence that you're unable to make a decision at all. The pressure to avoid further guilt makes even simple decisions feel monumental, resulting in procrastination and inaction. Moreover, guilt can distort your perception of risks and rewards. When guilt is at the forefront of your mind, you may overemphasize potential negative outcomes and downplay the positive ones. This skewed perspective can cause you to avoid taking necessary risks, opting instead for the safest, most guilt-free option. While this might seem like a prudent approach, it can prevent you from pursuing opportunities that could lead to personal or professional growth. Guilt also undermines your self-trust and confidence in your judgment. Constant self-blame and regret can erode your belief in your ability to make sound decisions. You might find yourself doubting every choice, questioning whether you're capable of making the right call. This lack of confidence can lead to excessive seeking of advice and validation from others, which can further muddy the waters and delay decision-making. In addition, guilt can lead to decision fatigue. The mental and emotional energy expended on feeling guilty leaves you with less capacity to make decisions effectively. You might feel drained and overwhelmed, making it difficult to weigh options and think critically. Decision fatigue can result in impulsive choices made out of a desire to simply end the discomfort of indecision rather than carefully considering the best course of action. Furthermore, guilt can cause you to prioritize others' needs and desires over your own, leading to decisions that don't align with your values or long-term goals. You might make choices based on what you think will appease or please others, rather than what's truly best for you. This can lead to a sense of resentment and dissatisfaction, as you consistently put your own needs on the back burner. To address the impact of guilt on your decision-making, it's important to develop strategies to manage and mitigate its effects. One effective approach is to cultivate self-awareness. Recognize when guilt is influencing your thought process and acknowledge its presence without letting it dictate your choices. This awareness can help you differentiate between decisions driven by guilt and those based on rational consideration. Practicing self-compassion is also crucial. Understand that making mistakes is a natural part of life and that no decision is immune to error. By forgiving yourself for past mistakes, you can reduce the fear of future ones and approach decisions with a clearer, more balanced mindset. Self-compassion can help rebuild your self-trust and confidence in your ability to make sound choices. Another helpful strategy is to establish a decision-making framework. Outline a process for evaluating options that includes considering your values, goals, and the potential risks and rewards. Having a structured approach can provide clarity and reduce the influence of guilt-driven emotions. It can also help you stay focused on what truly matters, rather than getting bogged down by guilt. Setting boundaries and learning to prioritize your needs is essential for making decisions that align with your best interests. Practice saying no when necessary, and don't feel guilty about putting yourself first. Remember that your well-being is important, and making decisions that support your health and happiness benefits both you and those around you. Engaging in mindfulness and relaxation techniques can help reduce decision fatigue and clear your mind. Practices such as meditation, deep breathing, and visualization can help calm your thoughts and provide the mental clarity needed to make decisions effectively. These techniques can also help you stay present and focused, rather than getting lost in guilt-driven worries about the past or future. Seeking support from trusted friends, family, or professionals can provide valuable perspective and guidance. Discussing your decision-making challenges with others can help you gain insights and reassurance, reducing the burden of guilt. Just be mindful to balance seeking advice with trusting your own judgment, as over-reliance on others can perpetuate indecision. Lastly, practice making smaller, low-stakes decisions to build your confidence and improve your decision-making skills. As you gain experience and see positive outcomes from your choices, your confidence in your ability to make sound decisions will grow. This practice can help reduce the influence of guilt and make larger, more complex decisions feel less daunting. In conclusion, guilt can significantly hinder your decision-making by creating fear of mistakes, distorting risk perception, undermining self-trust, causing decision fatigue, and leading to prioritization of others over yourself. By cultivating self-awareness, practicing self-compassion, establishing a decision-making framework, setting boundaries, engaging in mindfulness, seeking support, and building decision-making confidence, you can mitigate the impact of guilt and regain clarity and confidence in your choices. Continue with us as we uncover more ways to free yourself from guilt's grip and enhance your life. Way 7. Guilt undermines your physical health. Guilt is not just a psychological burden, it can also have serious repercussions on your physical health. The mind-body connection is powerful, and the stress and anxiety caused by persistent guilt can manifest in various physical ailments and conditions. Understanding how guilt undermines your physical health is essential for taking proactive steps to protect your well-being. One of the primary ways guilt affects your physical health is by triggering chronic stress. When you're constantly feeling guilty, your body remains in a heightened state of alertness, known as the fight-or-flight response. This response is designed to protect you in short bursts, but becomes harmful when activated continuously. Chronic stress leads to the release of stress hormones like cortisol, which over time can cause inflammation, weaken your immune system, and increase your risk of various diseases, including heart disease, diabetes, and hypertension. Moreover, guilt can disrupt your sleep patterns. The constant rumination and anxiety associated with guilt can make it difficult to fall asleep or stay asleep, leading to insomnia. Poor sleep quality and insufficient sleep can have wide-ranging negative effects on your physical health, including weakened immune function, impaired cognitive abilities, weight gain, and increased risk of chronic conditions such as cardiovascular disease and diabetes. Sleep is essential for the body's recovery and repair processes, and guilt-induced insomnia can significantly compromise your health. Guilt can also lead to unhealthy coping mechanisms that further damage your physical health. For instance, some people might turn to emotional eating or substance abuse as a way to numb the feelings of guilt. Overeating, particularly of unhealthy foods, can lead to weight gain, obesity, and related health issues such as type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Substance abuse, including excessive alcohol consumption or drug use, can have severe and potentially life-threatening effects on your physical health, including liver disease, respiratory issues, and increased risk of accidents and injuries. Additionally, guilt can cause physical symptoms such as headaches, muscle tension, and gastrointestinal problems. The stress and anxiety associated with guilt can lead to tension headaches or migraines, as well as neck and shoulder pain due to muscle tension. Chronic stress can also disrupt the digestive system, leading to issues like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, acid reflux. Toll of guilt can weaken your immune system, making you more susceptible to illnesses and infections. Chronic stress from guilt can suppress immune function, reducing your body's ability to fight off pathogens and recover from illnesses. This increased vulnerability can lead to more frequent colds, infections, and longer recovery times, further impacting your overall health and well-being. Addressing the physical health impact of guilt involves a holistic approach that encompasses both mental and physical strategies. One crucial step is to practice stress management techniques. Activities such as mindfulness meditation, deep breathing exercises, yoga, and progressive muscle relaxation can help reduce stress levels and promote a sense of calm and well-being. These practices can help counteract the physical effects of stress and create a healthier mind-body connection. Prioritizing sleep is also essential. Establish a regular sleep routine and create a sleep-friendly environment by reducing screen time before bed, keeping your bedroom cool and dark, and avoiding caffeine and heavy meals in the evening. If you continue to struggle with sleep, consider seeking advice from a healthcare professional or therapist who can help you address underlying issues contributing to insomnia. Engaging in regular physical activity can help mitigate the physical effects of guilt. Exercise is a powerful stress reliever that can boost your mood, improve sleep, and enhance overall physical health. Aim for a mix of aerobic exercises, strength training, and flexibility exercises to reap the full benefits of physical activity. Even small, consistent efforts can make a significant difference in how you feel, both mentally and physically. Adopting healthy coping mechanisms is crucial for managing guilt. Instead of turning to food or substances, find healthier ways to cope with your emotions. This might include journaling, talking to a trusted friend or therapist, engaging in a creative hobby, or practicing self-care activities like taking a relaxing bath or spending time in nature. Healthy coping strategies can help you process and release guilt in a constructive manner. Additionally, fostering a balanced diet can support your physical health and improve your mood. Eating a variety of nutrient-rich foods, including fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and healthy fats, can provide your body with the energy and nutrients it needs to function optimally. Avoid using food as a way to manage guilt, and instead focus on nourishing your body. Seeking professional help is also important if guilt is significantly impacting your physical health. Therapists, counselors, and healthcare providers can offer valuable support and guidance in addressing the underlying causes of your guilt and developing effective strategies to manage its effects. Don't hesitate to reach out for help if you need it. In conclusion, guilt can undermine your physical health in numerous ways, including triggering chronic stress, disrupting sleep, leading to unhealthy coping mechanisms, causing physical symptoms, lowering energy levels, and weakening the immune system. By practicing stress management techniques, prioritizing sleep, engaging in regular physical activity, adopting healthy coping mechanisms, maintaining a balanced diet, and seeking professional help, you can mitigate the impact of guilt on your physical health and enhance your overall well-being. Stay with us as we continue to explore more ways to free yourself from guilt's grip and improve your life. Way 8. Guilt sabotages. Your career. Guilt can have a profound impact on your career, subtly sabotaging your progress and success in the workplace. The feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt that guilt fosters can limit your professional growth, hinder your performance, and affect your relationships with colleagues and supervisors. Understanding how guilt undermines your career is essential for breaking free from its grip and achieving your full professional potential. One of the primary ways guilt sabotages your career is by diminishing your self-confidence. Guilt often stems from a sense of having failed or fallen short in some way. This constant self-criticism can erode your confidence in your abilities and decisions. In a professional setting, this lack of self-assurance can make you hesitant to take on new challenges, voice your ideas, or assert yourself in meetings and discussions. When you doubt your worth and contributions, you're less likely to seize opportunities that could advance your career. Moreover, guilt can lead to overworking as a form of compensation. You might feel compelled to work longer hours, take on extra tasks, or strive for perfection to make up for perceived shortcomings. While dedication and hard work are valuable, overworking can lead to burnout, decreased productivity, and a decline in the quality of your work. This cycle of overexertion and exhaustion can undermine your performance and make it difficult to maintain a healthy work-life balance, ultimately affecting your career longevity. Guilt can also interfere with your decision-making in the workplace. When you're preoccupied with guilt, you might second-guess your choices or avoid making decisions altogether out of fear of making a mistake. This indecision can hinder your ability to lead projects, manage teams, or respond to opportunities swiftly. In a fast-paced professional environment, the inability to make timely decisions can be a significant drawback, impacting your effectiveness and reliability. Additionally, guilt can affect your interpersonal relationships at work. Feeling guilty can make you overly accommodating, leading you to say yes to every request or demand, even when it's unreasonable or detrimental to your own responsibilities. This can result in an unmanageable workload and cause you to fall short on your own tasks, which can damage your reputation and reliability. On the other hand, guilt can also lead to withdrawal and avoidance, making you reluctant to engage with colleagues, seek feedback, or collaborate effectively. Both extremes can create tension and misunderstandings in the workplace, affecting your professional relationships and team dynamics. Another way guilt sabotages your career is by preventing you from seeking growth and development opportunities. You might feel undeserving of promotions, raises, or professional development programs because of your guilt. This self-limiting belief can keep you stagnant in your career as you shy away from pursuing advancements that could enhance your skills and elevate your position. By not advocating for your own growth, you miss out on valuable opportunities to progress and achieve your career goals. Furthermore, guilt can lead to a fear of failure that stifles innovation and creativity in your work. When you're afraid of making mistakes, you're less likely to take risks or propose bold ideas. This fear can result in playing it safe and sticking to tried-and-true methods, which can limit your potential for innovation and prevent you from standing out in your field. Embracing a mindset that allows for experimentation and learning from failures is crucial for professional growth, and guilt can be a significant barrier to this mindset. To overcome the career-sabotaging effects of guilt, it's important to develop strategies to manage and mitigate its influence. One effective approach is to cultivate self-compassion and recognize that everyone makes mistakes and has areas for improvement. By forgiving yourself for past errors and viewing them as learning experiences, you can rebuild your confidence and approach your career with a more positive and proactive mindset. Setting clear boundaries is also essential. Learn to say no when necessary and prioritize your tasks to avoid overworking and burnout. Communicate your boundaries with colleagues and supervisors and ensure that you're taking on a manageable workload that allows you to maintain high-quality performance without compromising your well-being. Improving your decision-making skills can also help counteract the effects of guilt in the workplace. Develop a structured approach to evaluating options, weighing risks and benefits, and making informed choices. Trust in your abilities and experience, and seek feedback from trusted mentors or colleagues to reinforce your confidence in your decisions. Enhancing your interpersonal skills and building strong relationships with colleagues can mitigate the impact of guilt on your professional interactions. Practice open and honest communication, seek collaborative opportunities, and be willing to both give and receive constructive feedback. Building a supportive network at work can provide reassurance and reduce the isolation that guilt can cause. Actively seek out growth and development opportunities to advance your career. Identify areas where you'd like to improve or skills you'd like to acquire, and take proactive steps to pursue relevant training, certifications, or mentorship. Advocate for yourself during performance reviews and discussions about career progression, highlighting your accomplishments and expressing your aspirations. Lastly, embracing a mindset that values innovation and learning from failure can help you break free from the fear of mistakes. Encourage yourself to take calculated risks and view setbacks as opportunities for growth. By shifting your perspective on failure, you can foster a more creative and resilient approach to your work. In conclusion, guilt can sabotage your career by diminishing self-confidence, leading to overworking, interfering with decision-making, affecting interpersonal relationships, preventing growth opportunities, and fostering a fear of failure. By cultivating self-compassion, setting clear boundaries, improving decision-making skills, enhancing interpersonal relationships, seeking growth opportunities, and embracing a learning mindset, you can mitigate the impact of guilt on your career and unlock your full professional potential. Stay with us as we explore more ways to free yourself from guilt's grip and improve your life. 4. Way 9. Guilt erodes your self-esteem. Guilt has a sneaky way of eroding your self-esteem, chipping away at your sense of self-worth and leaving you feeling undeserving of happiness and success. This constant barrage of self-criticism can have far-reaching effects on your mental and emotional well-being, making it crucial to understand how guilt impacts your self-esteem and take steps to counteract its damaging influence. One of the primary ways guilt erodes self-esteem is by fostering a negative self-image. When you're consumed by guilt, you tend to focus on your perceived flaws and mistakes, magnifying them out of proportion. This distorted view of yourself leads to feelings of inadequacy and unworthiness. Instead of recognizing your strengths and achievements, you become fixated on what you believe you've done wrong, which undermines your confidence and self-respect. Moreover, guilt can create a vicious cycle of self-punishment. When you feel guilty, you might believe you deserve to be punished, either consciously or subconsciously. This can manifest in various forms, such as self-sabotage, neglecting self-care, or engaging in harmful behaviors. By punishing yourself, you reinforce the belief that you are not worthy of kindness or happiness, further eroding your self-esteem. Guilt also affects your ability to accept and appreciate positive feedback. When you're burdened by guilt, compliments and praise can feel uncomfortable or undeserved. You might dismiss or downplay positive remarks, attributing any success to external factors rather than your own efforts and abilities. This inability to internalize positive feedback prevents you from building a healthy sense of self-worth and recognizing your value. Additionally, guilt can lead to social withdrawal and isolation. Feeling guilty can make you believe that others will judge or reject you if they knew about your perceived shortcomings. As a result, you might distance yourself from friends, family, and social activities, depriving yourself of the support and connection that are essential for maintaining healthy self-esteem. This isolation can intensify feelings of loneliness and reinforce negative self-perceptions. Guilt can also drive you to overcompensate in an attempt to prove your worthiness. You might go to great lengths to please others, take on excessive responsibilities, or strive for perfection in everything you do. While seeking approval and validation from others can provide temporary relief from guilt, it ultimately reinforces the idea that your worth is dependent on external validation. This constant need for approval can be exhausting and unsustainable, leaving you feeling even more inadequate when you inevitably fall short. Furthermore, guilt can cause you to internalize the criticism and negative opinions of others. When you already feel guilty, negative remarks from others can hit especially hard, validating your own self-criticism. This can lead to a downward spiral of self-doubt and self-blame, making it difficult to maintain a positive self-image and healthy self-esteem. To counteract the erosive effects of guilt on your self-esteem, it's important to develop strategies that promote self-compassion and resilience. One effective approach is to challenge and reframe your negative self-talk. When you catch yourself engaging in self-critical thoughts, pause and question their validity. Replace these thoughts with more balanced and realistic perspectives that acknowledge both your strengths and areas for improvement. Practicing self-forgiveness is also crucial. Recognize that everyone makes mistakes and that these mistakes do not define your worth as a person. Forgive yourself for past errors and focus on what you can learn from them. Self-forgiveness allows you to move forward without the burden of guilt, freeing you to build a healthier and more positive self-image. Engaging in activities that promote self-care and self-respect can also help rebuild your self-esteem. Prioritize activities that make you feel good about yourself, whether it's pursuing a hobby, spending time with loved ones, or taking care of your physical health. By treating yourself with kindness and respect, you reinforce the belief that you are deserving of care and happiness. Building a support network of trusted friends, family, or professionals can provide valuable encouragement and perspective. Surround yourself with people who appreciate and affirm your worth, and don't hesitate to seek support when you're struggling with guilt. Having a strong support system can help counteract the isolating effects of guilt and provide a source of positive reinforcement. Another important step is to set realistic and achievable goals for yourself. Break larger tasks into smaller, manageable steps and celebrate your accomplishments along the way. Achieving these goals can boost your confidence and provide tangible evidence of your abilities and worth. This approach can help you shift your focus from perceived failures to your successes and strengths. Mindfulness and meditation practices can also be beneficial in managing guilt and enhancing self-esteem. These practices encourage you to stay present and observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. By cultivating mindfulness, you can develop greater awareness of your self-critical patterns and learn to respond to them with compassion and understanding. Seeking professional help from a therapist or counselor can be invaluable in addressing deep-seated guilt and its impact on your self-esteem. Therapy can provide a safe space to explore and process your feelings, develop healthier coping mechanisms, and build a more positive self-image. A therapist can also help you identify and challenge underlying beliefs that contribute to your guilt and low self-esteem. In conclusion, guilt can erode your self-esteem by fostering a negative self-image, driving self-punishment, preventing acceptance of positive feedback, leading to social withdrawal, causing overcompensation, and internalizing criticism. By challenging negative self-talk, practicing self-forgiveness, engaging in self-care, building a support network, setting realistic goals, practicing mindfulness and seeking professional help, you can mitigate the impact of guilt on your self-esteem and foster a healthier, more positive sense of self-worth. Stay with us as we continue to explore more ways to free yourself from guilt's grip and improve your life. Way 10. Guilt destroys your boundaries. Boundaries are essential for maintaining healthy relationships and protecting your mental and emotional well-being. However, guilt can severely undermine your ability to set and enforce these boundaries, leading to a range of negative consequences in your personal and professional life. Understanding how guilt destroys your boundaries is crucial for reclaiming your power and creating healthier interactions with others. One of the primary ways guilt destroys boundaries is by making you feel obligated to please others at your own expense. When you're consumed by guilt, you might believe that you need to make amends by constantly saying yes to requests, even when they are unreasonable or detrimental to your well-being. This can lead to overcommitment, burnout, and resentment as you struggle to meet everyone else's needs while neglecting your own. Moreover, guilt can cause you to prioritize others' feelings and desires over your own. You might feel guilty for asserting your needs or saying no, fearing that it will disappoint or upset others. This can result in you becoming a people pleaser, always putting others first and sacrificing your own happiness and comfort. Over time, this behavior can erode your sense of self-worth and autonomy as you lose sight of your own needs and desires. Guilt can also lead to difficulty in setting firm and clear boundaries. When you feel guilty, you might be reluctant to enforce your limits, worrying that doing so will be perceived as selfish or unkind. This can create a situation where your boundaries are constantly tested and crossed, leaving you feeling vulnerable and taken advantage of. Without clear boundaries, it becomes challenging to maintain healthy and respectful relationships. Additionally, guilt can make you susceptible to manipulation by others. People who recognize your guilt-driven tendency to please might exploit this by pushing you to do things you're uncomfortable with or unwilling to do. This manipulation can take various forms, from emotional blackmail to guilt-tripping, further eroding your ability to set and maintain healthy boundaries. As a result, you might find yourself in unhealthy or toxic relationships that drain your energy and well-being. Guilt can also blur the lines between helping others and enabling harmful behaviors. When you feel guilty, you might go to great lengths to support someone, even if it means enabling their negative actions or choices. This can create a codependent dynamic where you're constantly trying to fix or rescue others at the expense of your own well-being. Enabling behavior not only harms you, but also prevents the other person from taking responsibility for their actions and making positive changes. Furthermore, guilt can prevent you from seeking help and support when you need it. You might feel guilty for burdening others with your problems or believe that you should be able to handle everything on your own. This reluctance to seek help can leave you feeling isolated and overwhelmed as you struggle to cope with your challenges without the necessary support. Asking for help is a vital part of maintaining healthy boundaries, and guilt can severely hinder this process. To reclaim your boundaries from the grip of guilt, it's essential to develop strategies that empower you to assert your needs and protect your well-being. One effective approach is to practice self-awareness and recognize when guilt is influencing your decisions and interactions. By acknowledging the presence of guilt, you can start to separate your true needs and desires from guilt-driven obligations. Developing assertiveness skills is also crucial. Learn to communicate your boundaries clearly and confidently without feeling the need to justify or apologize for them. Assertiveness involves expressing your needs and limits respectfully while also considering the needs of others. Practicing assertiveness can help you set and enforce boundaries more effectively, reducing the influence of guilt. Practicing self-compassion is another important step. Understand that it's okay to have limits and that taking care of yourself is not selfish. By treating yourself with kindness and understanding, you can reduce the power of guilt and reinforce the belief that your needs and well-being are important. Self-compassion allows you to set boundaries without feeling guilty or unworthy. Another helpful strategy is to establish clear and specific boundaries. Take time to reflect on what you need to feel safe, respected, and fulfilled in your relationships and interactions. Write down your boundaries and consider how you will communicate and enforce them. Having a clear understanding of your limits can make it easier to stand firm and resist guilt-driven pressures to compromise. Seeking support from trusted friends, family, or a therapist can also be invaluable in reinforcing your boundaries. Share your struggles with guilt and boundary setting with those you trust, and ask for their support and encouragement. A therapist can provide guidance and strategies for managing guilt and developing healthier boundaries. Surrounding yourself with supportive individuals can strengthen your resolve and help you stay accountable to your boundaries. Learning to say no is a critical aspect of maintaining boundaries. Practice saying no in a firm but polite manner, and remember that you don't need to provide extensive explanations or apologies. Saying no is an essential skill that allows you to protect your time, energy, and well-being. By getting comfortable with saying no, you can reduce the impact of guilt and prioritize your own needs. Additionally, it's important to recognize and address any patterns of enabling behavior. Reflect on your interactions and identify situations where you might be enabling harmful behaviors. Set boundaries that encourage others to take responsibility for their actions and make positive changes. By breaking the cycle of enabling, you can create healthier dynamics and protect your own well-being. In conclusion, guilt destroys your boundaries by making you feel obligated to please others, prioritizing others' feelings over your own, creating difficulty in setting clear boundaries, making you susceptible to manipulation, blurring the lines between helping and enabling, and preventing you from seeking help. By practicing self-awareness, developing assertiveness skills, practicing self-compassion, establishing clear boundaries, seeking support, learning to say no, and addressing enabling behaviors, you can reclaim your boundaries and create healthier, more respectful relationships. Stay with us as we continue to explore more ways to free yourself from guilt's grip and improve your life. Way 11. Guilt distorts your decision-making. Guilt can significantly distort your decision-making processes, leading to choices that are not in your best interest and that perpetuate negative cycles in your life. Understanding how guilt influences your decisions is crucial for making more balanced, healthy, and informed choices. One of the primary ways guilt distorts decision-making is by causing you to make decisions based on fear rather than rational thought. When you're overwhelmed by guilt, fear of further mistakes or of disappointing others can drive your choices. This fear-based decision-making can lead you to avoid risks, stick to the status quo, or make choices that are safe but ultimately unfulfilling. By letting guilt-induced fear dictate your actions, you limit your potential for growth and miss out on opportunities that could enhance your life. Moreover, guilt can lead to impulsive decision-making. In an attempt to alleviate the discomfort of guilt, you might make hasty choices without thoroughly considering the consequences. For example, you might agree to take on an additional project at work without assessing your current workload, or make a significant financial decision without evaluating its long-term impact. These impulsive decisions can create additional stress and complications, reinforcing the cycle of guilt and poor decision-making. Guilt can also cause you to overcompensate in your decisions. You might feel the need to go above and beyond to make up for past mistakes, leading to decisions that are overly generous or self-sacrificial. While it's important to make amends when necessary, consistently overcompensating can deplete your resources and energy, leaving you feeling drained and resentful. This pattern of overcompensation can also set unrealistic expectations for yourself and others, creating unsustainable dynamics in your relationships and responsibilities. Furthermore, guilt can cloud your judgment by making you overly self-critical. When you're consumed by guilt, you might question your ability to make sound decisions, leading to indecision and self-doubt. This constant second-guessing can paralyze your decision-making process, making it difficult to move forward with confidence. Indecision can result in missed opportunities and prolonged stress, further undermining your confidence and reinforcing the cycle of guilt and self-doubt. Guilt can also skew your priorities, causing you to make decisions that prioritize others' needs and desires over your own. This can lead to a pattern of self-neglect, where you consistently put others first and sacrifice your own well-being and goals. While it's important to consider the needs of others, consistently prioritizing them at your own expense can lead to burnout and resentment. Making decisions that balance your needs with those of others is crucial for maintaining healthy relationships and personal fulfillment. Another way guilt distorts decision-making is by fostering a sense of obligation. You might feel compelled to make decisions based on what you believe you should do, rather than what you genuinely want or need to do. This sense of obligation can lead to choices that are misaligned with your values and desires, creating a disconnect between your actions and your true self. Over time, this can erode your sense of identity and fulfillment, leaving you feeling dissatisfied and unfulfilled. To counteract the distorting effects of guilt on your decision-making, it's important to develop strategies that promote clarity and balance. One effective approach is to practice mindfulness and self-awareness. By becoming more aware of your thoughts and emotions, you can identify when guilt is influencing your decisions and take steps to address it. Mindfulness practices such as meditation, journaling, or deep breathing exercises can help you stay grounded and make more intentional choices. Seeking input from trusted friends, family, or mentors can also provide valuable perspective and support. Discussing your decisions with others can help you gain clarity and confidence, especially when guilt is clouding your judgment. Trusted individuals can offer objective insights and help you evaluate your choices more rationally. Additionally, professional guidance from a therapist or counselor can help you work through deep-seated guilt and develop healthier decision-making patterns. Practicing self-compassion is another important strategy. Recognize that everyone makes mistakes and that these mistakes do not define your worth or ability to make good decisions. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, and give yourself permission to learn and grow from your experiences. Self-compassion can reduce the power of guilt and help you make decisions from a place of confidence and self-respect. Establishing clear priorities and values can also guide your decision-making process. Take time to reflect on what is truly important to you and align your decisions with these priorities and values. This can help you make choices that are more authentic and fulfilling, rather than driven by guilt or obligation. When your decisions are rooted in your core values, you're more likely to feel confident and satisfied with the outcomes. Another helpful strategy is to create a structured decision-making process. Break down your decisions into smaller, manageable steps and evaluate the pros and cons of each option. Consider the short-term and long-term impacts of your choices and how they align with your goals and values. This structured approach can help you make more informed and balanced decisions, reducing the influence of guilt and impulsivity. Setting boundaries is also crucial for maintaining clarity in your decision-making. Learn to say no when necessary and prioritize your own needs and well-being. Communicate your boundaries clearly and confidently, and don't feel guilty for protecting your time and energy. Setting and enforcing boundaries can help you make decisions that are aligned with your true needs and desires, rather than driven by guilt or obligation. In conclusion, guilt distorts your decision-making by causing fear-based choices, impulsive decisions, overcompensation, self-criticism, skewed priorities, and a sense of obligation. By practicing mindfulness, seeking input from trusted individuals, practicing self-compassion, establishing clear priorities, creating a structured decision-making process, and setting boundaries, you can counteract the effects of guilt and make more balanced, healthy, and informed choices. Way 12. Guilt undermines your physical health. Guilt can have a profound impact on your physical health, contributing to a range of issues that can affect your overall well-being. The stress and anxiety that accompany guilt can manifest in various physical symptoms and conditions, creating a cycle of poor health and heightened guilt. Understanding how guilt undermines your physical health is crucial for breaking free from its grip and improving your overall quality of life. One of the primary ways guilt affects your physical health is by increasing your stress levels. When you're consumed by guilt, your body responds by releasing stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones prepare your body for a fight-or-flight response, which is beneficial in short-term, high-stress situations, but can be harmful when experienced over a prolonged period. Chronic stress can lead to a range of health issues, including high blood pressure, heart disease, and weakened immune function. By constantly feeling guilty, you subject your body to sustained stress, which can take a serious toll on your physical health. Moreover, guilt can disrupt your sleep patterns. The anxiety and rumination that often accompany guilt can make it difficult to fall asleep or stay asleep throughout the night. Poor sleep quality and insufficient rest can have numerous negative effects on your health, including impaired cognitive function, reduced emotional regulation, and increased risk of chronic conditions such as diabetes and obesity. Sleep is essential for the body's ability to repair and rejuvenate itself, and guilt-induced insomnia can significantly undermine this critical process. Guilt can also lead to unhealthy coping mechanisms such as overeating, substance abuse, or neglecting physical activity. When you're burdened by guilt, you might turn to comfort foods, alcohol, or drugs as a way to numb the emotional pain. These behaviors can lead to weight gain, addiction, and other health problems. Additionally, guilt can sap your motivation to exercise, resulting in a sedentary lifestyle that contributes to various health issues, including cardiovascular disease and musculoskeletal problems. These unhealthy coping mechanisms create a vicious cycle where guilt leads to poor health choices, and the resulting health issues further exacerbate feelings of guilt and shame. Furthermore, guilt can manifest in physical symptoms such as headaches, muscle tension, and gastrointestinal issues. The constant stress and anxiety associated with guilt can cause physical discomfort and pain, which can be both distracting and debilitating. Chronic pain and physical discomfort can limit your ability to engage in daily activities and enjoy life, creating a sense of helplessness and further contributing to feelings of guilt and frustration. Guilt can also weaken your immune system, making you more susceptible to illnesses and infections. Chronic stress and anxiety can suppress immune function, reducing your body's ability to fight off pathogens and recover from illnesses. As a result, you might experience more frequent colds, infections, and other health issues, which can further contribute to feelings of guilt and helplessness. A weakened immune system can also prolong recovery times and increase the severity of illnesses, compounding the negative impact on your physical health. Additionally, guilt can lead to a lack of self-care. When you're consumed by guilt, you might neglect essential self-care practices, such as maintaining a healthy diet, getting regular exercise, and attending medical appointments. This neglect can lead to a decline in your overall health and well-being, as you fail to take proactive steps to maintain and improve your physical health. Over time, this lack of self-care can result in the development or exacerbation of chronic health conditions, further undermining your quality of life. To mitigate the impact of guilt on your physical health, it's important to develop strategies that promote both emotional and physical well-being. One effective approach is to practice stress management techniques, such as mindfulness, meditation, and deep breathing exercises. These practices can help reduce the physiological effects of stress and promote a sense of calm and relaxation. By regularly incorporating stress management techniques into your routine, you can lower your stress levels and reduce the negative impact of guilt on your physical health. Engaging in regular physical activity is also crucial for maintaining good health and counteracting the effects of guilt. Exercise has been shown to reduce stress, improve mood, and enhance overall well-being. Aim to incorporate a variety of physical activities into your routine, such as aerobic exercise, strength training, and flexibility exercises. Regular physical activity can help reduce the physiological effects of stress, improve sleep quality, and promote a healthy immune system. Maintaining a balanced and nutritious diet is another important aspect of supporting your physical health. Eating a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats can provide your body with the essential nutrients it needs to function optimally. Avoid turning to comfort foods or substances as a way to cope with guilt, and instead focus on nourishing your body with wholesome, nutrient-dense foods. Prioritizing sleep is essential for mitigating the impact of guilt on your physical health. Establish a consistent sleep routine and create a sleep-friendly environment by keeping your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Avoid caffeine, alcohol, and electronic devices before bedtime, and engage in relaxing activities such as reading or taking a warm bath to help you unwind. Ensuring you get adequate rest each night can improve your cognitive function, emotional regulation, and overall health. Seeking professional help from a therapist or counselor can also be beneficial in addressing guilt and its impact on your physical health. Therapy can provide a safe space to explore and process your feelings of guilt, develop healthier coping mechanisms, and build resilience. A therapist can also help you identify and challenge the underlying beliefs that contribute to your guilt, allowing you to develop a more balanced and compassionate perspective. Additionally, practicing self-compassion and self-care is crucial for supporting your physical health. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, and prioritize activities that promote your well-being. This can include engaging in hobbies you enjoy, spending time with loved ones, and taking time for relaxation and self-reflection. By practicing self-compassion and self-care, you can reduce the impact of guilt on your physical health and improve your overall quality of life. In conclusion, guilt undermines your physical health by increasing stress levels, disrupting sleep patterns, leading to unhealthy coping mechanisms, causing physical symptoms, weakening the immune system and resulting in a lack of self-care. By practicing stress management techniques, engaging in regular physical activity, maintaining a balanced diet, prioritizing sleep, seeking professional help, and practicing self-compassion and self-care, you can mitigate the impact of guilt on your physical health and improve your overall well-being. Way 13. Guilt alters your relationship with time. Guilt has a profound impact on your perception and management of time, leading to a distorted relationship with it. This altered relationship can result in procrastination, inefficiency, and a constant feeling of being overwhelmed, all of which undermine your productivity and well-being. Understanding how guilt affects your relationship with time is essential for reclaiming control over your schedule and living a more balanced life. One of the primary ways guilt alters your relationship with time is by causing procrastination. When you feel guilty, you might delay or avoid tasks because they trigger feelings of inadequacy or fear of failure. This avoidance creates a cycle where the more you procrastinate, the more guilty you feel, which leads to further procrastination. As deadlines approach, the pressure increases, exacerbating stress and anxiety. Procrastination not only impacts your productivity, but also affects your mental health, as the constant worry about unfinished tasks can be mentally exhausting. Moreover, guilt can make you overextend yourself by taking on too many responsibilities. You might feel compelled to say yes to every request, to compensate for past mistakes, or to prove your worth. This overcommitment can lead to a packed schedule with little to no time for rest or self-care. As you struggle to juggle numerous tasks and obligations, the quality of your work may suffer, and you may feel constantly rushed and overwhelmed. This relentless pace can lead to burnout, further diminishing your ability to manage your time effectively. Guilt also distorts your ability to prioritize tasks. When you're burdened by guilt, you might find it challenging to distinguish between what's truly important and what feels urgent due to emotional pressure. This can lead to spending excessive time on less critical tasks while neglecting more significant responsibilities. Misplaced priorities can create a sense of chaos and inefficiency as you struggle to keep up with important deadlines and goals while being bogged down by less meaningful activities. Additionally, guilt can lead to a constant state of busyness that masks underlying issues. You might fill your schedule with activities and tasks to distract yourself from feelings of guilt, creating an illusion of productivity. However, this busyness often lacks true purpose and direction, leaving you feeling unfulfilled and drained. Being perpetually busy without meaningful progress can intensify feelings of guilt and inadequacy, creating a cycle of relentless activity without genuine accomplishment. Guilt can also affect your perception of time, making you feel like you're always running out of it. This sense of urgency can lead to rushed decisions and actions as you scramble to get everything done. The constant pressure to do more in less time can increase stress and reduce the quality of your work. This hurried approach to tasks can also affect your personal life as you struggle to find time for relaxation, hobbies, and meaningful connections with others. Furthermore, guilt can prevent you from enjoying the present moment. When you're constantly focused on past mistakes or future obligations, it becomes difficult to be fully present in your current activities. This lack of presence can diminish your ability to appreciate life's small joys and can negatively impact your relationships, as you may seem distracted or disengaged. Living in a state of perpetual guilt prevents you from experiencing the richness of the present moment and finding satisfaction in your daily life. To improve your relationship with time and mitigate the impact of guilt, it's important to develop strategies that promote balance and intentionality. One effective approach is to practice time management techniques, such as setting clear goals, breaking tasks into manageable steps, and prioritizing activities based on their importance and urgency. Creating a structured schedule can help you allocate your time more effectively and reduce feelings of overwhelm. Learning to say no is also crucial for managing your time and reducing guilt. Recognize that it's okay to decline requests that do not align with your priorities or that would overextend you. Saying no allows you to protect your time and energy for activities that are truly meaningful and important. By setting boundaries and being selective about your commitments, you can create a more balanced and manageable schedule. Practicing mindfulness can help you stay present and reduce the tendency to dwell on past mistakes or future worries. Mindfulness techniques, such as meditation, deep breathing, or mindful walking, can help you focus on the present moment and appreciate the here and now. By cultivating mindfulness, you can reduce the mental clutter caused by guilt and enhance your ability to engage fully in your current activities. Additionally, self-compassion plays a vital role in improving your relationship with time. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, and recognize that it's normal to make mistakes and have limitations. By practicing self-compassion, you can reduce the self-criticism that fuels guilt and learn to forgive yourself for past errors. This compassionate perspective allows you to move forward with greater ease and confidence without being weighed down by guilt. Seeking professional support from a therapist or counselor can also be beneficial in addressing deep-seated guilt and its impact on your relationship with time. Therapy can provide a safe space to explore and process your feelings of guilt, develop healthier coping mechanisms, and learn strategies for effective time management. A therapist can also help you identify and challenge underlying beliefs that contribute to your guilt, allowing you to develop a more balanced and empowered approach to time management. In conclusion, guilt alters your relationship with time by causing procrastination, leading to overcommitment, distorting priorities, creating a constant state of busyness, affecting your perception of time, and preventing you from enjoying the present moment. By practicing time management techniques, learning to say no, practicing mindfulness, cultivating self-compassion, and seeking professional support, you can improve your relationship with time and reduce the impact of guilt on your life. Way 14. Guilt sabotages your self-esteem. Guilt has a pervasive and insidious impact on your self-esteem, eroding your sense of self-worth and confidence. When left unchecked, guilt can lead to a negative self-image, self-doubt, and a pervasive feeling of inadequacy. Understanding how guilt sabotages your self-esteem is essential for breaking free from its damaging effects and building a healthier, more positive self-concept. One of the primary ways guilt undermines self-esteem is by fostering a constant sense of self-criticism. When you're consumed by guilt, you tend to focus on your perceived failures and shortcomings, often magnifying them out of proportion. This relentless self-criticism can create a cycle where you become your own harshest judge, perpetually finding fault in your actions and decisions. Over time, this negative self-talk can become internalized, leading you to believe that you are fundamentally flawed or unworthy. Moreover, guilt can lead to feelings of shame, which are even more damaging to self-esteem. While guilt is often related to specific actions or behaviors, shame involves a negative perception of oneself as a person. When guilt transforms into shame, you might start to believe that you are inherently bad or undeserving of love and respect. This deep-seated sense of shame can be debilitating, making it difficult to feel confident or positive about yourself. Shame can also create a barrier to seeking support and connection, as you might fear judgment or rejection from others. Guilt can also lead to a tendency to compare yourself unfavorably to others. When you're burdened by guilt, you might view others as more successful, competent, or deserving than yourself. This comparison can reinforce feelings of inadequacy and amplify your sense of failure. The constant comparison can erode your self-esteem and make it difficult to recognize and celebrate your own achievements and strengths. Instead of seeing yourself as capable and worthy, you might only see your perceived deficiencies in contrast to others. Additionally, guilt can result in a lack of self-assertion and an inability to advocate for your needs and desires. When you feel guilty, you might believe that you don't deserve to ask for what you want or to stand up for yourself. This can lead to a pattern of people-pleasing where you prioritize others' needs at the expense of your own. Over time, this lack of self-assertion can erode your sense of agency and self-worth, as you come to see yourself as less important or valuable than others. Guilt can also contribute to a fear of taking risks or trying new things. When you're weighed down by guilt, you might be afraid of making mistakes or failing, leading you to avoid opportunities for growth and development. This fear of failure can stifle your potential and prevent you from pursuing your goals and dreams. By avoiding risks, you miss out on experiences that could enhance your skills, confidence, and self-esteem. The resulting stagnation can reinforce feelings of inadequacy and reinforce the belief that you are not capable or worthy of success. Furthermore, guilt can create a pattern of self-sabotage where you undermine your own efforts and achievements. You might feel undeserving of success or happiness, leading you to engage in behaviors that prevent you from reaching your goals. This self-sabotage can take various forms, such as procrastination, perfectionism, or setting unrealistic expectations for yourself. By sabotaging your own efforts, you reinforce the belief that you are not capable or worthy, further eroding your self-esteem. To combat the damaging effects of guilt on your self-esteem, it's important to develop strategies that promote self-acceptance and self-worth. One effective approach is to practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend. Acknowledge that everyone makes mistakes and that these mistakes do not define your worth as a person. By cultivating self-compassion, you can reduce the power of guilt and build a more positive self-image. Challenging negative self-talk is also crucial for improving self-esteem. Pay attention to the critical thoughts that arise when you feel guilty and actively question their validity. Replace negative self-talk with more balanced and supportive statements. For example, instead of thinking, "I always mess things up," remind yourself, "I made a mistake, but I can learn from it and do better next time." By reframing your thoughts, you can shift your focus from self-criticism to self-growth. Seeking support from trusted friends, family, or a therapist can also be beneficial in addressing guilt and building self-esteem. Share your feelings of guilt and self-doubt with those you trust, and seek their perspective and encouragement. A therapist can help you explore the underlying causes of your guilt and develop healthier coping mechanisms. They can also provide tools and strategies for building self-esteem and overcoming negative self-perceptions. Engaging in activities that promote self-worth and confidence is another important step. Pursue hobbies, interests, and goals that align with your values and passions. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small, and take time to acknowledge your strengths and talents. By engaging in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, you can reinforce a positive self-image and build your self-esteem. Practicing gratitude can also help shift your focus from guilt to positivity. Take time each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for, including your own qualities and accomplishments. Gratitude can help you recognize the positive aspects of your life and yourself, counteracting the negative effects of guilt and fostering a more balanced perspective. Setting realistic and achievable goals can also boost your self-esteem. Break down larger goals into smaller, manageable steps and celebrate your progress along the way. By setting and achieving goals, you can build a sense of accomplishment and reinforce the belief that you are capable and worthy. This process can help counteract the feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt that guilt often brings. In conclusion, guilt sabotages your self-esteem by fostering self-criticism, leading to shame, encouraging unfavorable comparisons, reducing self-assertion, creating a fear of risk, and promoting self-sabotage. By practicing self-compassion, challenging negative self-talk, seeking support, engaging in confidence-building activities, practicing gratitude, and setting realistic goals, you can combat the damaging effects of guilt on your self-esteem and build a healthier, more positive self-concept. Stay with us as we continue to explore more ways to free yourself from guilt's grip and enhance your life. Way 15. Guilt impairs your decision-making abilities. Guilt can profoundly impair your decision-making abilities, leading to a cycle of poor choices, regret, and intensified guilt. When you're burdened by guilt, it clouds your judgment, influences your priorities, and affects your ability to think clearly and objectively. Understanding how guilt impairs your decision-making process is crucial for breaking free from its grip and making more informed, confident choices. One of the primary ways guilt impairs decision-making is by creating a fear of making mistakes. When you're consumed by guilt, you may become overly cautious, afraid that any decision you make will lead to further guilt or disappointment. This fear can paralyze you, making it difficult to take decisive action. Instead of confidently choosing a course of action, you might second-guess yourself, hesitate, or avoid making decisions altogether. This indecision can lead to missed opportunities and increased anxiety as the uncertainty of unresolved decisions looms over you. Moreover, guilt can cause you to make decisions based on emotion rather than logic. When you're overwhelmed by feelings of guilt, your emotional state can overshadow your rational thinking. You might make impulsive choices driven by a desire to alleviate your guilt, even if those choices are not in your best interest. For example, you might agree to take on additional responsibilities or make sacrifices to appease others, without considering the long-term consequences for your own well-being. Emotion-driven decisions often lead to regret and further guilt, perpetuating a harmful cycle. Guilt can also skew your priorities, leading you to focus on immediate guilt relief rather than long-term benefits. When you're trying to escape feelings of guilt, you might prioritize actions that provide short-term comfort or validation, even if they are detrimental in the long run. This can result in a pattern of choosing quick fixes over sustainable solutions, such as procrastinating on important tasks, neglecting self-care, or making unhealthy lifestyle choices. These decisions can compound over time, creating more significant problems that are harder to resolve and increasing your overall guilt. Additionally, guilt can lead to a lack of confidence in your decision-making abilities. When you're constantly second-guessing yourself and doubting your choices, it's difficult to feel assured in your decisions. This lack of confidence can cause you to seek excessive validation or approval from others, relying on their opinions to guide your choices. While seeking advice can be beneficial, over-reliance on others can undermine your ability to trust your own judgment and make independent decisions. This can create a dependency that hampers your personal growth and autonomy. Guilt can also cause you to make decisions that prioritize others' needs and desires over your own. In an attempt to atone for past mistakes or avoid disappointing others, you might agree to things that conflict with your values or well-being. This self-sacrificial behavior can lead to resentment, burnout, and further guilt, as you neglect your own needs and desires. Making decisions based on guilt-driven people-pleasing can also strain your relationships, as it can lead to feelings of imbalance and unmet expectations. Furthermore, guilt can cloud your perception of reality, leading to distorted thinking. When you're overwhelmed by guilt, you might view situations through a lens of negativity, exaggerating the potential for failure or harm. This distorted thinking can cause you to make overly cautious or risk-averse decisions, limiting your potential for growth and success. By focusing on worst-case scenarios, you might miss out on opportunities for positive outcomes and personal development. To improve your decision-making abilities and mitigate the impact of guilt, it's important to develop strategies that promote clarity, confidence, and balance. One effective approach is to practice mindfulness. By cultivating mindfulness, you can become more aware of your thoughts and emotions, allowing you to separate guilt-driven impulses from rational decision-making. Mindfulness can help you stay present and focused, reducing the influence of past mistakes or future anxieties on your current choices. Developing a structured decision-making process can also be beneficial. Break down decisions into smaller, manageable steps and evaluate the pros and cons of each option. Consider both short-term and long-term consequences and prioritize actions that align with your values and goals. By creating a systematic approach to decision-making, you can reduce the influence of guilt and make more informed, objective choices. Building self-confidence is crucial for improving your decision-making abilities. Focus on your strengths and past successes, and remind yourself that making mistakes is a natural part of learning and growth. Celebrate your achievements and take pride in your ability to navigate challenges. By reinforcing a positive self-image, you can enhance your confidence and trust in your decision-making abilities. Seeking support from a therapist or counselor can also be helpful in addressing guilt and improving decision-making. Therapy can provide a safe space to explore and process your feelings of guilt, develop healthier coping mechanisms, and build resilience. A therapist can also help you identify and challenge distorted thinking patterns, allowing you to make decisions with greater clarity and confidence. Practicing self-compassion is essential for mitigating the impact of guilt on your decision-making. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, and recognize that it's okay to make mistakes. By adopting a compassionate perspective, you can reduce the self-criticism that fuels guilt and approach decisions with a more balanced mindset. Learning to set boundaries is another important aspect of improving decision-making. Recognize that it's okay to say no to requests or obligations that conflict with your well-being or values. Setting boundaries allows you to protect your time and energy, enabling you to make decisions that prioritize your needs and goals. By establishing clear boundaries, you can reduce the influence of guilt-driven people-pleasing and make more authentic, empowered choices. In conclusion, guilt impairs your decision-making abilities by creating a fear of mistakes, driving emotion-based choices, skewing priorities, reducing confidence, prioritizing others over yourself, and clouding your perception of reality. By practicing mindfulness, developing a structured decision-making process, building self-confidence, seeking professional support, practicing self-compassion, and setting boundaries, you can improve your decision-making abilities and reduce the impact of guilt on your life. Stay with us as we continue to explore more ways to free yourself from guilt's grip and enhance your life. Way 16. Guilt impedes your ability to forgive yourself. Guilt, when left unchecked, can severely impede your ability to forgive yourself. This lack of self-forgiveness can trap you in a cycle of self-blame, regret, and emotional pain, making it difficult to move forward and heal from past mistakes. Understanding how guilt affects self-forgiveness is crucial for breaking free from its destructive hold and fostering a healthier, more compassionate relationship with yourself. One of the primary ways guilt impedes self-forgiveness is by creating an entrenched belief that you are unworthy of forgiveness. When you're consumed by guilt, you might internalize the idea that your mistakes define you and that you don't deserve to be forgiven. This belief can be deeply ingrained, making it difficult to shift your perspective and extend compassion to yourself. The constant self-condemnation reinforces feelings of unworthiness and prevents you from embracing the possibility of redemption and growth. Moreover, guilt can lead to a fixation on past mistakes, preventing you from moving forward. When you're overwhelmed by guilt, you might find yourself replaying your errors over and over in your mind, unable to let go of the past. This rumination can be mentally and emotionally exhausting, as it keeps you trapped in a cycle of regret and self-blame. By continuously dwelling on your mistakes, you deny yourself the opportunity to learn from them and to move forward with a renewed sense of purpose and understanding. Guilt can also foster a sense of punishment and self-sacrifice. You might believe that you need to atone for your mistakes by continually punishing yourself or denying yourself happiness and success. This self-imposed penance can take various forms, such as sabotaging your own efforts, engaging in self-destructive behaviors, or refusing to accept positive experiences and achievements. This punishment mindset can be deeply harmful, as it reinforces the belief that you are not deserving of forgiveness or joy. Additionally, guilt can prevent you from recognizing and accepting your humanity. Everyone makes mistakes, and acknowledging this fact is essential for self-forgiveness. However, when you're burdened by guilt, you might hold yourself to an unrealistic standard of perfection, expecting that you should never make errors. This perfectionistic mindset can make it difficult to forgive yourself, as any deviation from your idealized self-image feels like a profound failure. Accepting your imperfections and understanding that mistakes are a natural part of the human experience is crucial for cultivating self-forgiveness. Guilt can also hinder your ability to take responsibility in a healthy and constructive way. While taking responsibility for your actions is important, guilt can lead to an excessive and unproductive sense of blame. You might focus on what you did wrong to the exclusion of what you can do to make amends or improve in the future. This imbalance can prevent you from engaging in meaningful self-reflection and growth, as you remain stuck in a cycle of self-recrimination rather than proactive change. Furthermore, guilt can isolate you from others, making it difficult to seek support and forgiveness from those you may have hurt. When you're consumed by guilt, you might withdraw from relationships, fearing judgment or rejection. This isolation can exacerbate feelings of loneliness and reinforce your sense of unworthiness. Seeking forgiveness from others and sharing your journey towards self-forgiveness can be a powerful step in healing, as it allows you to reconnect with those you care about and to receive their compassion and understanding. To improve your ability to forgive yourself and mitigate the impact of guilt, it's important to develop strategies that promote self-compassion, self-awareness, and healing. One effective approach is to practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend who has made a mistake. Acknowledge that you are human and that making mistakes is a natural part of life. By cultivating self-compassion, you can create a supportive and nurturing environment that fosters self-forgiveness. Engaging in self-reflection can also help you process your feelings of guilt and move toward self-forgiveness. Take time to honestly examine your actions and their impact without falling into excessive self-blame. Consider what you can learn from the experience and how you can grow as a result. By focusing on the lessons and opportunities for growth, you can transform your guilt into a catalyst for positive change and personal development. Seeking support from a therapist or counselor can be invaluable in addressing guilt and fostering self-forgiveness. Therapy can provide a safe space to explore and process your feelings, develop healthier coping mechanisms, and build resilience. A therapist can also help you challenge distorted thinking patterns and beliefs that hinder self-forgiveness, allowing you to cultivate a more balanced and compassionate perspective. Practicing mindfulness can help you stay present and reduce the tendency to dwell on past mistakes. Mindfulness techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, or mindful walking can help you focus on the present moment and appreciate the here and now. By cultivating mindfulness, you can reduce the mental clutter caused by guilt and enhance your ability to engage fully in your current activities and relationships. Engaging in acts of self-care and self-affirmation can also support your journey towards self-forgiveness. Take time to nurture your physical, emotional, and mental well-being through activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Practice affirmations that reinforce your self-worth and remind you of your capacity for growth and change. By prioritizing self-care and positive self-affirmation, you can create a foundation of self-love and acceptance that supports self-forgiveness. Additionally, taking constructive action to make amends can be a powerful step in the process of self-forgiveness. If your actions have harmed others, consider ways to apologize and make reparations. Engaging in acts of kindness and service can also help you restore a sense of balance and purpose. By taking responsibility and making positive changes, you can demonstrate your commitment to growth and healing, both to yourself and to others. In conclusion, guilt impedes your ability to forgive yourself by fostering a belief in unworthiness, creating a fixation on past mistakes, promoting a sense of punishment, preventing acceptance of your humanity, hindering healthy responsibility, and isolating you from others. By practicing self-compassion, engaging in self-reflection, seeking professional support, practicing mindfulness, engaging in self-care, and taking constructive action, you can overcome the barriers to self-forgiveness and cultivate a more compassionate and balanced relationship with yourself. Stay with us as we conclude our exploration of how guilt can ruin your life and discover more ways to reclaim your happiness and well-being. As we come to the end of this deep dive into the ways guilt can ruin your life, I hope you found clarity, understanding, and actionable steps to break free from its grip. Remember, everyone makes mistakes, but you deserve to live a life free from the chains of guilt. Embrace self-compassion, take steps towards healing, and allow yourself the freedom to grow and thrive. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. What resonated most with you? Have you found any strategies particularly helpful in dealing with guilt? Share your insights and stories in the comments below. Your journey can inspire and help others who are struggling. If you found this video helpful and want more content on personal growth and emotional well-being, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Join our community and stay updated on new videos that can transform your life. Together, we can navigate the path to a more fulfilling, guilt-free life. Thank you for watching, and remember, you are worthy of forgiveness and happiness.